Hi everyone, welcome to this Batchline tutorial video. Today we're going to be looking at the new Batchline dashboard and taking a deeper dive into the stock and returns tab, specifically looking at this not selling group of books, what we're being showed as things that we could potentially consider to return, and what is our dead stock. So as we saw in the last video, we can configure what appears here by going to this stock config part, defining our returns window, what we think is not selling, and what is our parameters for dead stock. So once we've set those, we're going to get a certain number of titles in here, and then we can click on these buttons to go and look at what these titles actually are. So if we go into not selling, we've got three subheadings here. We've got stock properties, title stats from all time, it says here. So all time is going to be what we've configured here. So show stats for all time, so that's all time, and these stats here are going to be all time. And then we've got this thing called fixed period stats, which are telling us some other stuff, like what's the rate of sale in the last 7 days, what's the rate of sale in the last 30 days. And then 6 month sales, that's actually going to be defined by this value here, this 6 months. Let's have a quick look at what this might mean. So Britain, according to Caleb, Batchline now thinks that this title is not selling anymore. The last time we sold it was on the 10th of November. We have actually sold a lot over all time. So all of time, we've sold 194. Over all of time, as we saw in the previous bit, that means the last 8 years. So we could change that. So you have to remember that when we say all time, in this case, we're going to be talking about the last 8 years. We've got, this is our sales ratio, our margin, this is our average stock. And over those 8 years, we've sold an average of 2 per month. But in the last 7 days, we've been selling 0 a day. Last 30 days, we've been selling 0 a day. And we've sold 6 in the past 6 months. But we got 1 in stock, and Batchline thinks we're not selling that anymore. So we can order this however we'd like. We could look at how many we've actually got in stock. So maybe these are more problematic because we've got a lot of stock of them, but we've not sold them for a long time. Maybe we want to have a look at it ordered by the last sale. So all of these titles we've never sold. According to Batchline, we've got 1 of these in stock, but we don't think we've actually sold it for nearly 10 years. So that's quite an old book. Maybe that's right. Maybe that's not correct. Maybe we don't actually have 1 in stock. Maybe that's a stock accounting error. Maybe that's not actually in stock. Maybe this is prompting us to do something else. And we can go down this list if we would like to from this screen, and we can try and compile returns. And we can do that by highlighting lines. We can say, how many would we like to return? We can say 1. Last delivery supplier, which is what is here. We can say Hachette distribution. Yes, okay. We'll say yes to that one. And then we could compile a return here. And we could create a new return for Hachette like that. And then that will be ready to send in the returns portion of Batchline. Now on the next bit down, we've got consider returns. So as we discussed in the previous video, this is going to be titles that we think aren't selling where we have stock which is available to return. So that's going to be goods in events that fall within this window. So if we have a goods in from a certain supplier which is more than 15 months ago, we're not going to be shown that as a possible return because that's outside of the returns window. So we're going to be told some different things on this screen. So again, we've got some basic metadata. We've got the author this time. And then here we've got the supplier name. So the supplier name on this screen is actually the specific supplier that this suggested return is referring to. So we actually did a goods in for the Spy's Handbook almost 15 months ago, because we've got 4 days left to return this book to GBS. So we've got 1 in stock and we've got 4 days left to return, because If we go past that, it's going to go out of the 15 months and we can no longer return it. This screen is going to be ordered in order of how long Batchline thinks we've got left to return these books. So as you can see, as we go down this list, we've got longer and longer. So we may have more than one return for a book here. So we can see this book, You Choose, colouring book with stickers. We've ordered from two different suppliers. We ordered it from Gardners and we ordered it from Penguin. We've got 35 in stock, and we've got, these were only actually received 1 day apart, so this is very close. If we look down the list a bit further, you're not the boss of me. We've got a goods in from Gardners. We've got a long time left to return this one back to Gardners. Only 95 days to return it to HarperCollins. So we can make a decision about who we're going to return this to. So this is giving us multiple options to return to different suppliers for the same book. We've got some return status information here. When did we last sell it? When was the last goods in? And then we've got some information about how much of the time we've had this book in stock over the last 7 months. So this book we've had in stock the entirety of the last 7 months, which gives us an idea of how much shelf time it's taking up. From this screen, we can go down and just select things that we want to return. And then we can either exit the screen to compile the returns. And this is very much like reorder from sales. It's going to say, right, okay, well, we've selected 8 for Gardners, 2 for Grantham Book Services, 1 for HarperCollins, 1 for Macmillan. Do we want to use the existing return for that supplier and put it on that, or do we want to create a new return? So we can do that and create those returns. Or we can just hit compile return and do the same thing. We can also hide core stock from this screen or show core stock. The only other bit here is the dead stock. Maybe these titles are things that we want to consider putting in a bargain bin or doing something else with, putting them in a sale or something. I don't know. So this is books that we don't think we can return anymore and they've not sold for a long time. Okay, that's enough for now, I think. Thanks for being with me for this video, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.